It's like Wade talking about that freaking personal trainer on the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know, my funniest or the funniest joke in the world.
Classic. We're live. Oh my god.
Oh, we're live.
You said my name right as we went live, and you threw me off. I don't know what happened.
I'm doing it. Play the thing.
All
There we
right.
go.
Ooh, yeah.
Wiener or boat.
Wieners. Wieners. Man.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Here we are again.
Did we actually ever record words for that? Where did that even? I forget where that came from. Someone just made it, right?
Someone
Yeah.
on the internet just made it because they liked it.
Well, I want to give credit to you, person who made that. You did great work.
Person
Great
who made
work.
that 3 or 4 years ago, whoever you are, if you're alive, good work.
Great. And if
Great
not, your
work.
legacy lives on.
Your legacy
Hopefully that's
lives
good
on.
enough for your family.
What?
I don't know.
On their
horrifying.
deathbed, they took their child's hand and looked up at them and were like, "Don't forget
Uh-huh.
the boner song." And then they died.
Oh,
Let it die. I may go, but the boners must live on.
It's
don't
like,
let it die with me.
it's like Alexander Hamilton's wife. This child's mission becomes to make sure the world knows that their parent made the boner theme song. You know, normal stuff.
Well, anyway, welcome back to another episode of Distractible Live, aka Three Peens in a Pod, aka the three of us talk about things and stuff.
Uh-huh. That
That's
last
it.
one is the most accurate, I think.
Yeah, probably. But you'll never know. No one will ever know the truth.
No one will ever see this. And they'll never get to know.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to delete it once we're done. Redacted style.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I had nothing to contribute. What do you think? I actually have something to say about this?
I don't know, you were interjecting.
No, I would never interject into anything in my life.
I
Never,
mean-
ever.
That's not true.
Sorry to interject, but I had nothing to say.
Thanks.
Uh,
Oh, God. If it
I'm here
wasn't
for me.
content you can expect.
Yeah, if it wasn't clear, we're thoroughly warmed up and we're ready to
Uh-huh.
give you the show of our lives.
Yep.
Did we talk about the fact that you guys are coming into town yet?
No.
All right, so we have good news. I guess I have good news. I'm excited about this. I don't know if they're excited to travel, but Bob and Wade are coming to LA so that we can do some videos and content and distractible stuff together in LA.
It's a relatively short drive for me, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Yes.
Yeah, it should be fun. We haven't been together and done a live stream in person in a very, very long time.
When's the last time the three of us were even together? Pre-pandemic, right?
Jeez.
Tour in Australia.
Was it really?
Yeah, but that was way ago. That was way long ago at this
I
point.
can't.
That was the year we got Molly and I got
remember-
married. That'd been 2018 would be the last. That can't be
I
right. is
can't
it?
remember
God.
another time we were all in the same room. Mark and Amy and Mandy and I hung out for like, I forget, for like an evening. You guys were on the way somewhere and we had
I'm
dinner
gonna
and
send you
hung
all a
out.
cardboard cutout of me. So next time you all get together without us, you can bring me with.
It's not our fault you live where you did and we left.
What? My Valentino white bag it is.
What you spilled? Yeah,
Oh,
take
wow.
that, stayer.
Oh, very funny. That's good stuff, man. Good
You're
stuff.
gonna be a comebacker one day. Then I'm gonna get you.
We're not going to be a comebacker.
something.
There's no way.
You're
How
gonna
could
come
we?
back. Because you're
They're
gonna
two different
sink or
things.
break off and burn or something, and Ohio will be fine. This is what it is.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, you could come out here
Yes.
to beautiful California.
Who said, "Oh my
Housing
God, you
is
guys are
getting
so old"? I'm banned.
so
as
much
somebody.
more affordable.
I'm young at
I
heart
mean,
where
we
it
are
matters.
old. What do you want? All of our viewers are like 12.
Do you guys get those messages where someone's like, "Dude, I'm in school. I've just graduated college. I've got a family. I've got grandkids now." And it's like, "Fuck you, dude. But
I
you
feel
haven't
like
accomplished
the,
anything in your life."
I feel like the quintessential indication that, well, wow, okay.
Whoa,
I'll
that
get you.
escalated.
I'll get you.
I feel like the quintessential like acceptance that you are in fact getting old is talking about the youngins and how the youth of today are such a difference. When you start shaking your finger like that, when you go like you,
It has to be
you'll
crooked.
be me someday.
Everything I do is old people stuff.
Well, stop it.
Firing
You're
my
literally
laser is
not
still
even
hip,
that.
right?
You're just embracing and collapsing in on yourself to become older. You're accelerating the process.
God. Being
Your
shitty's
back
my
hurt?
brand, but not being old and shitty.
Yeah,
I'm
it's okay,
rebranding.
man.
Grandpa
It's okay.
plays.
It's official.
Yeah, and to be perfectly honest, it's a misconception that the majority of our audience is 12 years old. They're actually, the median range is 18 to 24
Oh, really?
by a large margin. Yes.
That's a little younger than mine. I think the bulk of mine is 18 to 35. It's a wider range, but that's like 80% of my audience. By volume.
I don't have any idea who watches me. I assume they're bots.
You know, that stuff's available if you ever look at.
I spend every dollar I've made to
Anything.
get viewers, so they better be.
I don't agree with or do whatever the hell Wade is talking
Oh
about.
man,
We here at Distractible do not agree with Wade. Most of the
Wow,
time.
look at all that stuff happening in the chat, which you should not do on the internet. I feel like I inspired that somehow. That's my bad.
Creepy guy with a hook hand wearing like a fishing hat who's like, show me one who's young.
He's got a
say
pencil
you're done.
spiked on his little hook hand, furiously scribbling on his notepad.
Oh god, that is hilarious. But in other news, besides the fact that we're getting old before we spiral into an episode dedicated to that, there's news and stuff to talk about that is also very old. I have a story for you guys.
Breaking
I
old
think-
news.
Breaking old news from our lead reporter, Pam, out in the field in the Olympics of '84.
Do you have the new?
In a world full of darkness and cynicism, all 37 puppies were found alive. Sometimes a shining beacon of light can shine through. The Olympic gold medalist sold his medal to buy food for the hungry, which was him. Better than okay. This is the greatest good.
I don't believe in news.
I turned around, and all 37 puppies were saved.
Oh, well, wow. Good job, everybody. I'll come up with a new one eventually. I know I keep saying that I'm going to come up with a new one, but I mean
This
it
one's
this
my
time.
favorite.
I actually,
I
love
like
hearing
the
that.
old ones. I don't think there's any problem with it.
yeah,
They're
but I mean, I will make new ones, and they will also be good. Like, and then it, well, guys, please. Guys. Anyway,
We don't like
South
change. We're
Korea-
old-fashioned.
South Korean boxer refuses to leave the ring after losing Olympic game. Has lights shut off on him. This is all the way back in the Olympics of 1984. Before
Is he
any
still
of
in
us
the
were
ring
born.
today?
He might still be there.
They had to build a new ring because he wouldn't leave.
So the title of the actual article from the New York Times, written by Peter Alfano, says, the Seoul Olympics, boxing, anger by Koreans over 84 may have spurred outburst. It might have been surprising that two South Korean boxing officials climbed into the ring and attacked a referee Thursday, but it was perhaps inevitable. South Korean officials have been sensitive about closely contested bouts since the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles, when American fighters were beneficiaries of several favorable, a couple at the expense of South Korea. Kim Ung-yeon, president of the South Korean Boxing Federation, threatened to pull his team out of the Summer Games. Then he reminded his guests that they would be fighting in Seoul in 4 years, implying that the roles would be reversed. Colonel Donald Hull of the United States was president of the International Amateur Boxing Federation in 1984, fueling Kim's suspicions that the odds were stacked against his fighters. Keith Walker of New Zealand, who worked as a judge and a referee in the Los Angeles Games, was singled out by South Korean officials as being especially pro-American. The United States won 9 gold medals, a silver and a bronze in 84, a number inflated because the Soviet Union and Cuba were among the nations boycotting the games. Walker was the third man in the ring on Thursday, drawing the ire of the South Korean coaches during a bantamweight bout between Byun Jong-il and Alexander Hristov of Bulgaria. Hristov was declared the winner on the cards, but Walker was held responsible because he had penalized Byun 2 points for headbutts. The South Korean suggested that the referee was influenced by Emil Jechev, a Bulgarian, who is chairman. Either way, long story short, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Basically, it's a bunch of angry people who thought that this previous judge who was in there, the 84, South Koreans thought that they were robbed from the event. And then in the following Olympics, they were angry because the same people that they thought robbed him were still there. And eventually this boiled over until 2 volunteers working ringside for Seoul, one of whom removed his yellow gold blazer, jumped into the ring and pummeled Walker. So just started throwing hands at the American official that they thought, or maybe this is the New Zealand guy that they thought had wronged him. And any comments of the story so far? Are you following this?
Oh, I remember this in every detail you're saying is just refreshing my cherished memory. No, it's not cherished. And I remember.
Welcome to Go, my favorite sports team, everyone.
Is boxing in the Olympics that big? Because I feel like they don't show it. Like,
I don't know.
I usually watch
lot.
the Olympics, and I'm down to watch interesting sports that you don't really get to see very much and all this stuff. I feel like boxing is one of those ones they show at 3 a.m. And I would watch Olympic boxing. It's an interesting.
Yeah.
I appreciate the nuance of boxing, even if I don't fully understand it. But that's a lot of anger over amateur. I mean, it's in the Olympics, but it's amateur sports, basically, right? It's that's the whole thing.
If you didn't notice, the Korean people can hold grudges sometimes.
Oh, is that true?
Yes, this is maybe a little bit.
I've never known anyone from Korean.
You still don't. That hasn't changed yet.
Anyway, a crowd of 2,000 people, many waving South Korean fans, cheered every punch that Lee threw. He appeared to win the first round, but Ellis scored 2, bloodying Lee's nose. Basically, Lee looked like he was going to win the fight, the South Korean fighter, but then lost to Ellis. And then after the fight, Lee simply refused to leave the ring, holding up the future events for other boxing matches in other weight divisions until they just turned the lights off.
Is this before or after they attacked? Who is the referee attacked that day?
The referee attack is years later.
Yeah.
In
So
summary,
it was
held
the
a grudge
84
against
that
the
was
guy.
the grudge beginning, and then the next Olympics took place in Seoul, and then people were still pissed off. And when the decision was made that the other guy still won, well, actually, it was points were deducted during the fight, and people jumped in the ring, interrupted the fight, and then later, the infamous Anthony Hebrick affair. Oh no, that's different. Then the lead stayed in the ring, refusing to leave until they turned the lights off.
I mean,
so
I
sad.
guess I could see that if you really feel like you've been wronged by like a ref or something on like because you only get so many chances at the Olympics. It's every 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So this dude gets like what 3 or 4 chances tops to get medals here, and if he feels like he's been screwed twice by like corruption or referees or something, I could see that getting in your head a little bit, especially like you're in your own city and everything. Like, yeah, I'd be pretty pissed. I mean, the despair of just standing there, it's not unheard of. There's been football players, basketball players that have stayed on the field or on the court after games and just like the lights shut off and they're still there just like thinking things through. Actually, recently the Bengals, week 1, we had a horrible game against Pittsburgh. Our quarterback threw 4 interceptions. I think he had a lost fumble. He had 5 turnovers, and we had 2 missed kicks that would have won us the game. We lost on the last second in overtime from a field goal, and we had like 30 chances to win that game. And I'm pretty sure they said that like after everyone had left, reporters left, the team had left, the coaches had left, he was still in the locker room just sitting there silently. So, yeah, there's something about that high level of competition where it can make you a real weirdo.
But not, you don't find that story funny?
Oh, I think it's fun. Yeah,
You don't
I
think fun?
Man, there have been times where I want to beat. You know, I've wanted to beat up refs before, and my dad actually had. I don't know if you guys know that this existed. They had these dolls that they made. I don't know if they were officially NFL licensed or not, but you could get like a little doll made of like a player from every team in the NFL or a referee. And the way the doll was designed was it had Velcro connecting the head to the body, the arms to the body, and the legs to the body. So while you were watching, you could rip apart one of your players or the referee and throw it around the room.
Ah,
Interesting.
it's like it's encouraging healthy behavior.
Yeah.
Which is what we want in sports. But anyway, all right. If that's not your game, I've got another article here.
No, wait, I was gonna say something, but wait,
Oh,
keep
okay.
talking.
All right. Okay. What you got?
I'm sorry, I have to cut myself short next time.
No, I guess I mean they're amateurs, but their boxers are often already professional boxers when they're in the Olympics or burgeoning professional boxers, right? It's one of those. I think it's one of those sports where it's kind of a gray area, like how professional basketball players get to play on the Olympic teams, even though it's supposed to be all amateur and they're not supposed to have sponsorships, all this stuff. If you're a boxer, that's the whole sport. I understand. I don't know the details, but I know that Olympic boxing is scored differently because I think they wear like headgear, and it's more about scoring touches as opposed to professional boxing. You can just win if you pummel the absolute shit out of the other guy so bad that he's knocked unconscious. But like that is still the sport. There are split decisions in boxing at tons of events. There are split decisions that lots of experts will see either way. It's not that crazy of a thing. And I'm sure there is subtext to it that gives more context to why this particular fighter and the South Korean like team felt discriminated against. But that's the whole sport. Like that would be like if a gymnast finished a routine in a very hotly, competitive individual all around thing, and a gymnast finished a floor routine or whatever, did something, and the judges score it 2/10 lower than the coach thinks it should, and that would be like the gymnast being so devastated that they attack the judges or whatever. That is losing like that, I'm sure, is incredibly hard, especially at such a high level. That's the whole sport. Olympic boxing is points based and it's judged, and judges are people. But there's got to be context that makes those specific people feel like they were targeted or otherwise discredited. Or whatever, disadvantage.
I think we've solved another mystery. People who lose big sporting events and just stand around staring off, they're the precursor to horror movies and stuff. They're like the Blair Witch. People that they find just standing in the corner staring. Those are just athletes who lost. And they couldn't get over it. So they wandered into the woods. They found an abandoned building. They just stood there in the corner facing it.
What athlete was the girl from The Ring in the well? Was it diving?
Gymnast.
Yeah, no, clearly diving. Yeah.
Yeah.
See the way she contorts her body? I can't do that. Oh God, why?
You want to know of another fun fact about
yes.
the 88 Seoul Olympics?
Yeah.
That was the Olympics that revolutionized South Korea's plumbing system.
Oh,
Don't mention
that's
plumbing to me.
interesting.
What? It's not everything plumbing is personal to you.
Just don't talk about plumbing, please. Veto.
Before that Olympics, everyone in Seoul had a lot of issues with water coming through ceilings and toilets that were somehow not sealed correctly, and water, that sort of stuff.
And they kept piling on more and more mud. They just put more mud on the pipes.
The guy kept coming in and being like, "It just needs more mud," but in Korean.
More mud. Yeah, exactly.
You not say that in Korean, Mark?
I don't know what mud
You
is.
speak Korean, right?
Yeah.
It's wet dirt, Mark.
Mud. 필요하세요. It's dirt. What's the dirt?
Wet dirt is mud, yeah.
What is it? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mud
You said you don't know what mud
Korean?
is, so I'm trying to help you.
Mud is, whoa, what is it? 진흙 필요하세요. 진흙 더 필요하세요. Just needs oh no, it would be 진흙 조금 더 필요하세요. It would be just like, it just needs a little more mud.
A little more mud. Need more mud.
Just need more
I
mud.
don't like it. I don't like it. I'm going back to my punch of 87, leading to the Blair Witch Project.
Anyway, so basically before this, Korea was not, the plumbing system was not robust enough to handle the idea of toilet paper, even the idea of toilet paper. So toilet paper was not flushed in the toilet. It was thrown away in a trash can that was next to the toilet, right? But when the Olympics came by, guess what everyone from other countries did? They flushed the toilet paper down the toilet, as they would expect. And this caused many backups in the Olympic and was an embarrassment for the country. And so they went to great lengths from that moment on to completely overhaul the plumbing system, so that there was no need to have that ever happen again. But even to this day, when we go to Korea eventually, when we go around and eat food and go to different stores, we are going to do that eventually. These guys are going to come to Korea with me. You will notice that in some places there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. You have to get toilet paper from the people who run the restaurant you're eating at and bring it with you to the bathroom.
So embarrassing.
It's very
Excuse me, I need
strange.
to poop. Can I just have a little bit of a menu or some toilet paper, something papery?
I wonder how often the waiter or shopkeeper or whatever someone comes up and is like, "Hey, I need some toilet paper," and they hand them like a stack or a roll, and the person is like, "Well, it's
I'm
really
gonna need more than
brewing in
that."
there. I'm gonna need more than this." Like, yay! I'm glad you're in my shop and using my bathroom.
It's perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal. It's people's bathrooms across the world are different. Sometimes, I mean, in Japan, the toilets are squat toilets.
Ooh,
I've never
not
been to
do
Japan.
well at that.
Yeah. So and that's kind of like interesting because it's kind of an Asian thing to be able to do like the Asian squat or the Slav squat to go all the way down
What
on
is
your heels.
the squat?
It's where your butt touches your heels. You've never
Yeah,
seen
exactly.
anything about the Asian squat?
Could you touch your butt to your heels?
Like,
Could
could
you
you,
do
get into a
butt
catcher
touch?
stance in order to go to the bathroom? Yes, please try it, injured man.
Try it right now. Do it now.
All right, I'm just gonna mark Japan off the list of places I'm able to visit real quick.
Don't worry, in Italy, the toilets are big holes in the ground with foot pegs. You don't have to squat at all. You just kind of aim
Don't they have
toward it
pasta
and see what
dispensers in the
happens.
bathroom?
It's actually
Pasta?
sheets of pasta
In
or
Italy?
paper towels to them.
Yeah, you get pasta while you poo.
Oh, great. Yeah, it's
They
just like
misinterpreted pee-pee. They're like, pasta and poo.
it's a pasta roller that's like strained across the toilet, so you just roll it and you just wipe
Not
straight
you don't
across.
pastify your poo. You get pasta while you poo.
Where's it coming from? Is it dripping from the ceiling? Like just a long strand of
It's
pasta?
one of those little crank machines on the left. Instead of getting a paper towel, you get pasta.
Yum.
Sure, all right.
I can dream, can't I?
Why
boy.
would you do that, though, is the question. Why is that
Go for a
dream?
pasta and a poo. That sounds kind of nice.
Like,
A little R&R, a little P&P.
Oh, I've
a somehow way worse version of the Goldfinger joke.
I don't know what that is.
Doesn't he
I'm
offer
okay with
him
that.
a,
That sounds bad.
doesn't
Don't.
he offer him a cigar or no, a pancake to go to the bathroom or something?
I have no idea.
Oh no,
I
a
think
pancake and weed, like a little bong and a blimps.
God, I haven't even
Smoking a
thought
pancake
about
from
Smoking
Goldmember.
a pancake, yeah.
smoking a pancake.
That's the one.
In other news, Antarctica's penguin post office is hiring.
Oh,
That's adorable.
is
but
that
who would they
exactly
deliver
what
to?
I hope it is?
It is.
Krampus? Who lives
It
in the
is.
South Pole?
Penguins.
It's
You
They
monster.
deliver to
Penguins.
each other? They have mail for each other?
How do you think they celebrate birthdays?
They
yeah.
fuck in
can't
the
travel
water,
to
then
be
go
together.
eat fish. I don't know. I didn't
Look.
know penguins had mailing address.
I look. I don't know what to tell you. You haven't read the article yet. A remote post office in Antarctica is hiring. If you're good at sorting mail, selling postage stamps, and counting penguins, this job could be for you.
People live there?
That's not the part that's supposed to be interesting.
I'm so confused.
Yeah,
Listen, I'm thinking of the sheer mechanics of it.
What are the mechanics? Explain.
Counting what? Why are you counting what is this place and why does it
It's a
exist?
post office. How is this so hard for you to understand?
Do you know what mail is, Wayne? You know, how
Yeah,
you get
but
those
mail goes to
papers
where
sometimes?
people are. People. And there's no people in Antarctica except for ones that are doing research or dead from
And you
frostbite.
think they don't get mail?
You think the researchers don't have mail?
Do you know how many Sears catalogs get shipped to the Antarctic every year?
Yeah, they never
It's a
need to.
problem.
They never need to ship hard drives of data back and forth or get reports
right.
mailed in.
Just go to Antarctica, go online, order my Girl Scout cook. Please deliver to fucking Igloo in the ice pole. I have two penguins out. I'm at 2 Penguin Ice Cube Lane.
Jesus, why is this making you so
What is
angry?
happening?
I don't know.
Why are you so mad? It's a
I just
delightful
can't-
penguin.
I get angry when penguins are involved with mail.
What's wrong? What did penguins do to you?
I don't know. I'll find something. They're gonna do something. It's not what they have done. It's what they're about to do.
Okay, all right. Well, the historic site receives about 18,000 visitors each.
So yeah, I think people
Thousands?
do go there. Wade.
18,000, yeah.
What is wrong with you? Not you two, but the people that go there. Why?
Why would you not want to go to the Antarctic?
There's like a beautiful like Caribbean ocean destination. They're like, nah, I want to have my fucking toes turn blue and fall off. Let's go to the ice.
You probably wear warmer clothes, Wade, I think, to prevent frostbite and that sort of stuff.
All right,
That's
go
the
on.
starting point.
Good counterpoint.
Okay, so this particular island in the Antarctic can dip as low as 23 degrees Fahrenheit and a little colder with the wind chill.
Oh,
that
imagine
too
living
cold
somewhere
for
where
you?
it could be 23 degrees Fahrenheit, Wade.
It's not even cold.
What would that even be like?
I thought Antarctica was like -50.
Do you know how big Antarctica is?
No.
No,
I didn't know they
yeah.
had islands. I thought it was
Clearly
one big
not.
sheet of ice with some penguins and maybe an ice tree.
Just estimate, how big do you think Antarctica is? How big?
Oh, man. 30 by 5,000 super meters.
God, jeez.
What?
They're on the metric system. They're not America, so I had to think.
Well, I've got it in square miles if you want to know. Give me
Oh,
a
well,
country.
who calculated that? Not
compare
them.
it to another country. Give me an idea of a country that you think Antarctica is as big as.
Oh, it's bigger than like even like Australia, isn't it? It's a whole continent. Isn't it a big old
I'm
So
gonna
it's
guess.
big now. So it's
I'm gonna
big
guess-
now.
big? It's always been big, but it's all ice.
Well, Australia is only 30 by 16 super meters, so
Yeah.
you don't understand the scale he's working within.
Okay. All right. Would you like to know the answer? Because
I'm
Australia.
gonna guess Canada. I'm gonna compare it to Canada.
Okay. All right. That's not a bad guess. Canada. Let me get the square amount. How big is Canada square?
I could Google this, but I'm
Well,
not.
that's only
Gonna.
like a 12
No,
by
no, it's
12
fine.
super meter.
It is bigger than Canada.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
I mean,
Canada is
what's-
3.855 million square miles.
Aren't the only countries that are bigger than Canada like China and Russia?
Yeah. You got to go continent scale.
I
Basically,
did that.
Australia
that.
is 2.9 million square miles. Antarctica is 5.275 million square miles. For reference, all of South America is 6.8 million square miles. So Antarctica is really, really big, and it does have some islands that are closer to other countries like Australia and New
So it's
Zealand.
allowed to be warmer now. Okay, that's fair.
It's
What is
it's
wrong
never not been that. I don't
What do
know.
you got against Antarctica, man?
I don't know, but I'm gonna find something. They did
All right.
something wrong.
God.
No. Sign up for this job, man. Sign up for it. Come on. Say you
Sounds
would. Say you
fun.
would. Say you would, Wade. Say you would.
23 Fahrenheit and penguins.
It sounds fun.
Sounds fun. Come on. Say you would.
We're on a nude beach and I'm there.
All right. You can be naked all over the place.
Yeah, no,
because
yeah.
because
Only
you're going to be
penguins around.
sharing a single bedroom with no flushing toilet. You must empty the camping
I
toilet
knew it.
daily.
I
There's no
knew it.
running water or showers. Visitor ships offer staffer showers every few days, and it's going to be cold. You can go up to 2 weeks without showers. Communication is limited. There's no internet access or cell phone reception, and satellite phones are costly. You will have, quote, very minimal communication with home, and in the event of an emergency, medical evacuations to a hospital could take as much as 7 days. Quote, Antarctica is a physically and mentally challenging place to work. That's where you're going, Wade. Today you're shipping off to Antarctica.
If you pee in Antarctica, you pee in real life.
Well, either way, Wade, you're going to be peeing in
Great.
Antarctica in
It's
your
like the
real
tongue
life.
to the pole thing. If you sit on a toilet in Antarctica, is your cheeks permanently stuck to the seat?
Only if
Probably.
it's an outside toilet, I guess.
Probably. But either way, congratulations. You're going to be counting penguins to the ends of your days.
God damn it. I hate Antarctica. I knew I hated it.
You were completely right to not want this job.
I know
Why do
nothing
you
about
hate
it other than how
Antarctica,
horrible this
though?
job is. But I hate it on principle.
Good. As you should. It's a
As I get
terrible,
older, I
terrible
hate things
thought.
irrationally, and I'm right about it because I'm an elder. Respect my opinion.
You heard it there, folks. Respect Wade's opinion.
Yeah. You see these grays? These mean knowledge.
Give us some knowledge.
Antarctica sucks. Antarctica sucks.
That tracks actually. That's definitely
That tracks. That tracks. Yeah. But anyway, that's the today's news.
yeah.
I have another.
I was
news
waiting for
story.
like a
It's
brought to you by, but I forgot. That's not.
You got. You
don't
want
do that
short
here.
You want a short and sweet one?
Yes.
All right. We got one more, a little bite-sized bit of news for you guys. Vatadora man bites snake after it bit him. Dies.
Vatadora. What is that?
Yeah, what is
Is that
that?
in Florida?
It's in the Mahisagar district's Ajanwa village.
Give me a country.
Yeah, can we get some more?
Well, I'll
Little
give you another
bigger.
clue. The man was rushed to Godra.
Is that a Pokemon?
The man, Parvat Galabaria, a farmer, he had to be rushed over to Godra after the snake bite, but he bit the snake.
Farmer. So it's
It-
not Antarctica because they can
Yeah.
actually grow food. Okay.
No, it's not in Antarctica. It's in the Mahisagar district's Anjanwa village.
I'm
gonna
gonna go
guess
with Yugoslavia.
India.
Well, I mean, he was first rushed, to a government hospital in Lunawada.
Is this on Earth?
Damn. Just because it's not stuff doesn't mean it's not real.
I know
Wade.
everything
Jeez.
about Earth. Look at the grays.
Anyway, so it was one of those tragic things where, he was first rushed to Godra, then he was rushed to a government hospital to Lunawada. None of them had the antivenom necessary to be able to counteract the snake bite. Even
Okay.
him biting the snake back didn't get it. He was shunted around for 4 hours between hospitals before he eventually passed.
This doesn't
Damn.
sound like South America. So this is either going to be Africa or like South Asia if there are snakes.
Is it
Poisonous
Malaysia?
snakes equals probably warm climate.
It's that knowledge shining through.
So knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with somewhere in Africa. Godra sounds like Africa.
What about Vadodara? Don't forget Vadodara.
It's really fancy bullfighters. You have the matadors and the vadadoras.
So you're going
Not
Spain?
Africa.
I'm going with the Spanish Africa. It's somewhere it's north of South Africa, but south of North Africa,
In the place of Spanish Africa.
Trust
No,
the Grays.
you know
Trust the
what?
Grays.
I'm
Trust the
laughing,
Grays.
but that's not fair. I do remember that line from that song. It's gonna take a lot to matador me away from you.
Yeah. All right.
Uh-huh.
You got any final guesses?
I really don't. This is way outside of anything I know. It sounds like Asia to me, but I have no other guesses even.
It is India.
Oh well, you
I knew it.
I said that first. Does that wait?
did
does
you?
that
You said
count?
that first. He
I
knew
said
it.
India.
I
That's
think.
the
I
first
think.
thing I said.
Then you were right. I just couldn't hear it over Wade trying to process what I was saying.
Back me up, chat. I said India very
I
first.
I
completely
think I said
Right.
it. and Bob copied me.
Well,
Will,
that might
edit
be
it.
true. That might also be true.
India. Will, put that up before Bob's.
I don't know why it matters if you're right or wrong. I'm not. There's no points. to be
I'm
had.
right.
Oh, who
It
wins this
matters
episode?
if you're right in life. Okay.
Okay. There's another small little bit of news here if you guys want it, which is more of a sad. Did I talk about this before? No, I did talk about this before.
Yes.
1 in 2,000 people might have mad cow. I talked about that article. Yeah.
Really?
All right. I think so. Mentioned it casually, I think, at one point. Either way, that's the end of the news.
Which means it's probably the end of the this.
No.
What's this
no,
called?
No.
Oh, are we just gonna hang out?
Yeah, why not? We can
We
hang
got
out.
more things to talk about.
Oh, you know what we could talk about, Mark?
What,
You'll
what?
love this.
Hmm?
Did you hear the big news out of Google in the last week? I'm sure no one brought it to your attention.
Did we talk about this already?
We
Did
did.
When did we talk about
it
this?
on an episode, kind of.
Oh, okay, good.
tangentially.
Well, it's not out yet, so I just want everyone live. How many people are watching? All 2,500, nope, 6,400 of you live here to see how sad Mark is about the fact that Stadia is dead. What are you gonna do with all your Stadia stuff, Mark?
Well, it's gonna get refunded, but
Ding
Shut up.
dong, Stadia's dead. The
you
wicked
guys
Stadia
never
is
gave it a
dead.
chance. You guys never gave it a chance.
I used it. I have.
I
an
knew it
active
would die.
Stadia
I have the
subscription.
grays.
You were using it, Bobby. You
Yeah.
were using it.
I was using it. I was playing games on my iPad with a PS4 controller, and I was also using the Stadia controller on like my laptop. I was using it. I will say the kind of games that I like did not work very well on Stadia, even in ideal conditions.
Really?
I like driving games, and they have Formula One 2021 on it. That is not a good game for Stadia.
You would have to play it on like a Chromecast with the controller. That is the ideal setup that I always played with, for the most part. That gives you the lowest latency because it's all Google hardware or a Google like enabled smart TV. Just because that's just the way that the hardware.
I never had I didn't get a Chromecast Ultra or whatever the like top of the line is. It never worked very well on my previous gen Chromecast, which I think it wasn't designed to. But...
You needed like the Chromecast Ultra, the newest one that came out there. For those of you who don't know, Stadia was actually good. People thought it was terrible, but you ask anyone that actually used Stadia regularly, me included, Stadia was wonderful. I loved Stadia. It worked delightfully. They had free games just like the Epic Game Store does. I was able to try out a ton of new games. I played the crap out of Destiny on Stadia. I was playing through Cyberpunk in Korean on Stadia. I still could because there's still time. I was playing a bunch of games. I had plenty of opportunity to try it out, and the times where there was lag or interruptions to my service, I could count on both my hands in the entirety of the time that I was there. Then again, I had ideal setup. I had it connected to Ethernet. I didn't do Wi-Fi, all that jazz. But you know,
Did you try Formula One racing?
I did not. I did not try racing games. I did try fighting games, which are also very, very like require a lot of fine-tuned movement and stuff like that. It worked fine, but then again, I'm not good at fighting games. So if you were a professional fighting game, obviously there's going to be latency. It's one of those things where, like, yes, of course there's latency. They're beaming the footage to you from way far away. There's no miracle there that's going to make that instantaneous, but what they managed to do with what they had was incredible because it was the best streaming gaming service that was out there, period. There is no argument about that. You compare it to any other streaming gaming service, which if you don't like that, that's totally fine, but it was the best. And I really, truly used it all the time and enjoyed it, and I'm sad that it's gone. It is Google's own fault for it failing because they have a bad habit of just shutting down their own things, but I'm still sad.
One of the last rants you might ever hear about how Mark loves Stadia right there.
Yeah.
They've been doing Formula One racing since 1950 and they still haven't gotten a new formula? That's pretty insane.
It's Formula One as in the top number one formula. It's the most.
Yeah, I know. You'd think they'd have made some new versions of it by now, but nope.
They
still the
have.
one.
It's just the same. It's the same rank. It's always been the top motorsport in the world. It's not what you're thinking it is at all in any way.
I don't know. The Grays are speaking to me. Also, Rip Stadia, I guess.
Yeah, Rip Stadia. Like, I'm not surprised. That's the thing. I can agree with everyone completely. I'm not surprised that it's gone.
They are doing a really cool thing, though. Isn't Google offering to refund people that have like made purchases and stuff?
They are refunding every purchase made on the platform. That's
a pretty big endeavor.
That's a big endeavor, and it does go a long way to kind of like help combat the idea that if you invest into it, you will lose everything. It is a lot of money that they are going to be spending to pay that back. I do appreciate that. It's a good thing. However,
literally only Google can even do that.
Yeah, they have giant bags of money, which is like, if you were going to refund everyone, pay all the money, maybe you could have just kept the service going for another couple years and let people find out and try it for themselves and let the technology be, all right, fine, whatever.
Well, how long has it existed, though? Stadia is not new anymore.
It came
4
out,
years old?
It was announced 2018. It came out for everyone. No, it was formally announced 2019 of March 2019. It came out for use later that same year, so it's been around for about
3 years old.
Yeah.
Well, good on Google for at least refunding everybody. If it was Amazon, they would charge the people that bought stuff more money to Shut
You
it down.
want your money back? Pay us double the
nominal
money.
fee to get your
Creators
save
would only have a
states.
30-70 split if Amazon had to shut something down.
Oh wow, Twitch drama.
I will say, I know I'm probably in the minority about this. The Stadia controller is my favorite controller. I
Never
love
used
that
it.
controller.
It's pretty good. I only have minor issues with it, but it is definitely among the better controllers that have existed.
I don't
I always
like the PlayStation
one more
controller.
than Xbox.
The thing is, like, I like the PlayStation
Yeah.
format, but the buttons feel weak. Everything about it feels weak and not crisp.
Yeah.
The Xbox is good because every button feels crisp and movement
I
feels
never
crisp.
got comfortable with my thumbs being on
Yeah,
different.
that's what I don't like. I don't like the crisscross thumbs. The Stadia kind of like put it together. It put the PlayStation thumbsticks in line and buttons in line, and I would like it a great feel.
I don't understand why everyone likes the even thumbsticks.
It's
You
just-
get
I don't
used to
know.
it, of course. You get
Yeah.
used to it. Like
I
you
started
do
with
get used to it,
PlayStation, so my brain was wired for it.
but
I
it's
guess
like
it doesn't make sense to me because
Yeah.
it makes my left thumb uncomfortable is the main problem. You want the buttons in a natural position and you want the left thumbstick in a natural position is what you want in general in a controller. And the left thumbstick being sideways means that forward is like a really awkward thumb. I can never go perfectly forward
I
anytime I
see.
ever use a PlayStation controller.
Would you like it better if
Interesting.
both the thumbs were up here and then the D? I just like the D-pad and the buttons in line because I play a lot of like platformers, and I don't play platformers with the joystick. I play them with these. Like Rogue Legacy, I play a ton of it.
I would rather have both joysticks in line up top.
Yeah.
As opposed to what PlayStation has.
I would
because
agree with
thumbs awkwardly down.
Yeah.
It's probably because I have big hands, but thumbs awkwardly in versus both thumbs naturally up is way worse to me.
I don't
the
put my
thumbs at
thumb
the
in
top-
the thing naturally when I play. I think I keep mine like on the edge here, so I push up like with this, and then like if I need to pull down, I go in a little bit with my thumb. So I actually don't even put my thumbs in.
Well,
It's,
that's
like,
your
brushing
problem.
the
You're
edge.
holding it backwards. You play weird. Who plays like this?
Yeah, don't you play like this?
Freak. Jeez.
Amnesia: The Dark Descent's a really hard game.
But anyway, the PS5 controller is surprisingly bad considering that it's like the 5th or 6th iteration of that. For one reason that's not involving the buttons or the joysticks. There's on the edge of the whatever the fuck it's called, like right here, which is where like my palm rests on these. There's a big plastic gap and a harsh curve to it that like leaves a huge imprint on my hand when I use it. That
Yeesh.
seems like awful design. But I have bigger hands than they designed it for, probably. But it's like painful. If I play with the PlayStation 5 controller for more than like an hour, I get those huge like bruisey indentation things that stay there for a while, and it really hurts. I don't know. No one makes big controllers. You know what I miss? The Xbox Duke. That was the fucking best controller that's ever existed.
The first controller.
That's the original Xbox controller that was like 80% bigger than this one is.
Yeah.
I miss the N64 controller playing Mario Party, doing tug of war. We had to do this, and then you'd have like a hole in your hand straight through. Be like, "Oh, who shot your hand?" It's like, "Oh, I won tug of war."
I won. I won.
know.
What do you mean?
I don't know what sociopath designed that controller, but goddamn.
The rock hard joystick that you have to
You know what was
clean
an,
the car with.
you know what's an underrated controller that, aside from not having a second joystick, is possibly one of my favorites of all time? Dreamcast. Dreamcast controller was fucking
Yeah.
great. The triggers on that were so satisfying.
I have to pull up a picture of it, but I think I agree with you.
I have to pull up my shorts real quick, so on the same page.
I'm surprised you
Yeah.
could even do
Oh
that.
yeah, because it was the
Not
only
easy.
one. It had the joysticks up high. It had them both online up
Oh,
top.
did it have two joysticks?
There's a version I see with two joysticks
Oh.
up top. Ah, and it kind of was the only one that instead of all these controllers going in like this, it kind of was a little out. So you were holding it like this,
Yes.
as opposed to this. So your wrists were more in a natural position as opposed to this.
The Dream, and it had the little socket that you could put the little like memory card slash Digimon player into. Like I just and in general, also aside from the cord coming out of the bottom, that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. But in general, I think the Dreamcast controller was and very much a banger.
It
Anyway,
was. Too bad Dreamcast died for some. I don't even
I
know
think
why
that
it died.
console, because it was a little ahead of its time and it was marketed really shittily.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a really cool console, but it came out a little bit after the N64. It was in an era where discs were still not super, not high capacity and also not super reliable, I guess. And it had a bunch of features, like it had networking. You could plug that into, I think, a modem back then still, but it had like the potential to have online stuff way before anyone was interested in having console online connectivity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh well. Oh, Bob, do we have mods in here? There's a bit of spam. If you maybe could mod me as well, I could help.
I could probably do that. Well, can't I? Yeah. Is it just? I don't know how this works.
You don't know YouTube?
I've never used
I don't
YouTube
either.
live chat. I have
Oh,
to be honest.
How do you not know? I mean, I would never know how to stream on Facebook. That's for sure.
I don't do that anymore.
I don't know how to stream on
That's
Twitch.
true. That's true. Yeah. Well,
Nope,
that's,
that ain't it. Is it this?
It's you got to go into the YouTube settings itself.
Oh, why? That sounds awful.
There's
You
no
gotta go to the
command.
YouTube channel manager and then
Google, we got some ideas for how you can make YouTube streaming better.
Can't you just log into the Distractible
one, make it
account?
better.
I don't want to do. Yeah, tell me the password out loud.
6
Isn't it just
lowercase
6969 80085?
Got it. Okay, I'm in.
boobs. Did you see Beavis and Butthead are coming back? Everybody
No.
loves Beavis and
What?
Butthead.
Are they?
I started watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, which is like 15 years old though, and they made two of the characters in Abridged that is Beavis and Butthead, so they've been on my mind lately.
Oh,
Well-
you know what's sad is right now there's a weird resurgence in people playing Stadia as like a last hurrah. As of a few days ago, there were more people playing Destiny on Stadia than Halo Infinite on Steam, and it's just like, come on, oh God, oh,
Isn't
why
Halo
not?
Oh, wait, I
Infinite-
want to try it now.
Isn't Halo Infinite dying?
Oh yeah, of course. It's not like a proud thing. There's only like 5,000 people playing Destiny on Stadia, but it's like, oh, come on.
There's only 5 people playing Halo Infinite on Steam.
That's concurrent. Sorry, I meant concurrent people. I'm sure there's more people that play, but yeah, it's just
think
it's
they're
still
real.
kind of sad. It's sad.
Don't worry, Mark. I have nothing comforting about Stadia.
sure
but
Stadia will
something
turn it
else will
around.
come along. Have you tried Amazon? What's that called? Luna? Luna?
I don't know.
It's
What other-
basically
yeah.
Amazon Stadia clone.
Don't do
sort
it.
of deal.
Amazon won't
Oh, yeah.
refund.
Amazon Stadia, yeah.
Unfortunately, the revenue share is really bad. Yeah, that's right. I worked it in.
Well played.
I mean, I do feel like that still is a direction that is going to be developed as the internet gets better. I'm sure there'll be another streaming service you can use.
Yeah, and I doubt that they're going to kill. Basically, if people didn't know, I actually know how Stadia works on a hardware level because I was given the pitch about Stadia a year before it came out. It was they
Aren't you special?
yeah
they sent me an invite. I turned it down.
Yeah, of course. But basically what it is, because Google is like the hub of the internet and they have servers everywhere around the world, what they do in basically every city, there's a Google server. There's servers literally everywhere around you. You don't know where they are. What Google did is they invested in a tremendous amount of money to put architecture and hardware on those servers that was custom made for Stadia specifically. They put enough hardware to make sure that they were able to shard off enough little instances for every single person to play a game, and they had a huge overhead of the amount of hardware that they did. And then when you log into Stadia, you are allotted a certain specific hardware that it's not emulated through their server. You have physical computer hardware that is allocated to you. That's what made it lower latency as well, in terms of instead of having a partition of a greater data center. You had your own individual hardware that was assigned to you. It would change based on when you logged in, but you would have your own little piece of actual physical hardware. What I think is going to happen when it shuts down is they are going to start another service that is remote desktop. Well, not remote desktop, but like cloud computer, where you can log in and you can have a computer on the go. I think that it'll be like the evolution of their Chromebook idea, where all you need is access to the internet to have everything you need to compute. And I think that is where that's going to go and what it'll be used afterwards. I don't know for sure. I've not had another meeting with Google, but that's what I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Google,
do
if you're
feel
watching
like-
right now, get a meeting with Mark so we can tell us more.
I do wish Chromebooks
got
had
you.
been more successful. I bought into that, man. When I was in law school when Chromebooks, well, they came out before I was in law school, but I was in law school and my laptop was kind of old and I was like, I know, I'll buy a Chromebook. And then the main problem I ran into, which is insane, is Chromebook. I took notes in law school and I took like a lot of notes. There's a lot of things in law school. I took I created notebooks that would be like, I don't know, probably hundreds of pages, maybe a couple hundred pages. The Chromebook couldn't load it. It had the Microsoft One note thing you could access online to do like notebooks and organize things. It couldn't load more than like 10 to 15 pages of a text file. And it wasn't the internet. It was like the onboard RAM or something. I don't even know. They never lived up to the expectations. I thought Chromebooks. I feel like about Chromebooks like I feel like you feel about Stadia. I thought Chromebooks were about to be the future, where your computer was everywhere there was internet, and all you needed was a little access thing, and not even close.
I feel about the video game Summoner and Summoner 2 that came out on PlayStation 2 the way you guys feel about Stadia and Chromebooks. That series should have lived on. It got bought up by another company. It's like, oh, they're going to remake it, or they're going to make a third one. They're going to do something great. And then it never did. But it was so fun. Such a good story.
Am I modded?
No,
Okay.
I looked and could not find. You said it's in channel settings.
Yeah, I can put in our little Discord chat kind of like images of where it should be. After
Look.
10 years we've been on YouTube at various
I have
associated
never
sites.
once live streamed on YouTube. Okay, and then
All
this
right.
is
What do you
not
mean?
how
This is like
any
2 weeks
other
ago.
site I've ever used works.
Okay, so go to the channel manager, right? Go to your channel manager, your video manager, your content manager.
What's their name?
Okay.
Go down on left side bottom. There's a settings cogwheel.
Okay.
Click there. Community, the
Okay.
subtab, right at the top.
Okay. I
Uh-huh.
have to add a channel URL.
What?
It says.
Oh, yeah,
"Please-"
yeah. Just start typing Markiplier.
Yeah. I know your channel.
Okay.
And don't forget the game. Got your
Wait,
back, buddy.
wait. Do you want this?
God,
you want to
no.
be a mod?
Well, maybe.
Too bad.
Oh, okay.
You're not on YouTube, actually. I searched for youtube.com/LordMinion777 and you didn't come up. So
I don't exist on YouTube? Well, that's new. I knew they've been copyrighting me a lot, but man, I know they flat out removed me.
yeah, did you get deleted or something? You get hacked, buddy?
All right, time for me to go to Mixer.
All right, we're modded, maybe.
Modded.
you
I
do
have
it?
mod powers.
All right.
Huzzah!
Does I exist?
Yes, I'm so ready.
I don't
Oh,
see any.
there's a wrench.
Wow.
Oh, hey, FAQ.
Oh, I don't. There's my wrench. Wow.
Why is it a wrench? I just gotta ask.
Because you gotta fine tune the
It's
chat
people
like
that
a
are
well-oiled
tweaking,
It's a
yeah.
machine.
hammer. It's a sword. It's usually something cool.
It's like you're working on Little Bastard. You're under the engine. That's James Dean's
Wow.
car. If people don't know. And you got your wrench, and you're like, oh, get that out of here, because it's dirt. And
Are you a
then
big
wrench it.
James Dean fan?
No, it was just on a Supernatural episode, and I've watched Supernatural a few times.
Oh, okay.
What are like YouTube slash commands?
Sure.
/ guess I'll die / ban / Michael Jackson song play. I don't know.
Thanks.
Nope. Nothing.
Wade looks 55 years old. That's what your mom said.
What did she say? It. Expound.
She said I look 52.
I guess that's what your mom said last night when I was
Oh.
doing her.
Oh,
You gotta bring it
yeah.
home. Yeah.
Bob said only with more
Yeah.
venom in my voice.
Everybody really
Can-
likes how angry you get, Wade. You have very big, angry old man energy.
Mm-hmm.
I just overreact to things. It's my thing.
That's true.
Always done it. Got me more attention as a kid, so it stuck with me as an adult.
That makes sense. That checks out.
Are
You ever have guests on the podcast? Yeah, each other. Maybe,
If you hold
maybe
down-
not. I don't know. We
what
don't even know
are
what we're
you
doing on
trying
it for
to
any
do,
given
Mark?
day.
I'm just trying to look up tips and tricks. I've never actually moderated, so I'm trying to like learn about it, you know. Anyway.
Bob is like an old man using the internet. Yeah, I mean,
1v1 you in basketball. Wouldn't want to embarrass you. I still got it. Once I can move my arm again, I'll crush everyone.
Good stuff.
Once
good
my
stuff.
knees stop creaking, my hair grows back, and my back works again, I'll annihilate your whole family. I'll 1v5 all of you. All 5 of your family, because the rest left to get milk because I didn't come back.
Yeesh.
damn.
Pretty harsh. Pretty harsh.
I'm going to
indeed.
treat you all like I treat Antarctica.
Well, you're going to be working there, so you better learn to love it.
I'm going to treat it like shit. I'm going to stab it with a pole.
Okay.
I'll show it.
That's a little.
That's all. Oh, never
I
mind.
was gonna say that's a little concerning, but you do what you think is best.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for listening to Go My Favorite Distractible Team.
Should we
I
end
just
it?
like the episode, by the way, the 2-hour episode chat.
Oh.
Did y'all enjoy that?
They loved it. They really loved it.
Yeah, people actually seem to be pretty hype about that.
Yeah. Also, the episode was very good, so.
I haven't heard that story in so long.
Yeah.
It was a funny story. I mean, I remember it still, I guess. So I haven't not heard it, but you should listen. Chat, did you listen? Are you listening? You're here on YouTube, but did you listen to the podcast? You should do that.
Yeah, if you guys on YouTube basically want to help us out with the podcast, the reason the YouTube channel has highlights is so it's easier to share this podcast with your favorite friends and people and strangers that you meet on the street. It's so much easier to introduce someone through an animation or a highlight. And if you are going to be ready for it, brace, because there's going to be a lot more promotion about the podcast coming at you hot and fast. There hasn't been a splurge of promotion for quite a while, but it's about to change. For some things are moving behind the scenes.
Yeah. And if you want us to stop promoting it, all you have to do is listen to every new episode as soon as possible and then listen to the backlog repeatedly. And if we can get everyone who subscribes to this channel and everyone who follows the podcast to just listen, then we won't have to talk about it. But you're bad listeners.
Yeah.
Okay? We know what your habits are. We know when you have not listened. And we're not impressed. So we're going to have to talk about it.
Yeah. What he said.
That's all there is to it.
Okay, I'm going to end this thing now.
Okay.
We're going to leave. Goodbye.
Maybe. Well, I'm going to click end stream and it'll end at
Is
some
it 5,
point.
4, 3 to us out too, or is it just out?
You click end and it says 1, 2, 3, and then it ends, and then it says 4, 5.
Excellent. Okay.
It's like a palindrome of a stream.
We're going to palindrome out of here, y'all. Don't let me ever crick my neck like that again. Ow. Goodbye.
All
Such a
right.
delicate old man. Okay, bye.
Peace and bitches.
I clicked it. I have no